Alright, it's that time again. Back into Nightmare Zone, episode 54. Got two shoutouts today, both from my Twitter. First is to Gwyneth St. Clair, who gave me a tip about looting the duffel bags, if there are any near the weapon caches. We'll try it next time, because apparently the duffel bags can have something decent in them, as well as the weapon cases. And also to Emo Centaur at Centaur Emo, another person on Twitter. Just they showed up at the same time as Gwyneth, so why not? I'll give him a bonus shout out just because I feel like it. So, oh man, clear my throat real quick. What are we going to be doing in this episode? Well, we're on we got one character. We made one upgrade. We got Logan up. We got the new character. I believe his name is Logan. And we're going to continue trying to find some upgrades. And yeah, somebody commented that Logan wasn't much of an upgrade. And yeah, you're right. But a lot of these guys will be very minor upgrades. But that's kind of how it works when you're getting new recruits. It's very uncommon to get like just this insanely good survivor. So you kind of just inch your ways over. You just kind of like wedge the quality of your characters up slightly over time. One thing I've learned though is that I am not bringing anyone with me anymore if they don't have unless they've already learned their life story, their trait. Because I'm tired of the game punishing me. Like look at this, -3 morale. Not a lot, not a huge deal, but it's still now he is a character that could be improved upon because he's got the lost father trait, and basically, you know, don't bring anyone with you. I wanted to bring them with me because you see these guys' stats are really low. I wanted them to be kind of the training wheels, but apparently that was a huge mistake. You should apparently never bring anyone with you unless you just have the one guy you designatedly bring as a helper in case you need backup. Which I am going to continue doing since Ladislaw is going to volunteer to be that person. Anyone who has a negative trait I will bring. So let's arm. Reload real quick. Good. Go destroy that infestation. And let's go find... what's in my throat? Let's see here. I don't know where Ladislaw is. Check over here.
I don't think I can go much longer without a rest.
Oh, that's Mackie. There he is.
Oh, hey.
And list.
Lead on.
Definitely glad that people are positively receiving the bounty broker analysis. I don't think I went nearly as hard on Undead Labs as I did in the future Stave Decay video. But that was also part of the plan. I didn't want to go extremely hardcore on it. I guess we'll just have him carry some extra ammo in the event I need it.
Oh, hey. That's for you.
Okay. So let's see if there's anything we need to activate. No, I think that's our only activatable. We're gonna take this vehicle as usual because we want to grab some stuff. We need to get some food while we're out there. We're actually running low on food. We actually haven't done just normal everyday looting in a while. I think I'm just gonna mute my microphone and clear my throat with a lot more force. Hold on a second. Okay, now we should be back online. Yeah, we haven't had to do that in a while. We actually haven't had to go out and just actually loot rucksacks in a bit. And we are looking for more quests, and we are going to see if we can recruit more people. We're looking for upgrades right now. Try to replace some of the people in our community that are... Okay, so we're probably going to want to take the left here and enter into this industrial area.
Knock him off!
Want to make sure we get a lot of melee combat in. It's very important to get fighting maxed out. One of the most important stats to have maxed out. Very dark, can't see a thing. Looks like we have a horde here and the infestation. I think those are 3 screamers, jeez. Let's just try to get this right on them. Looks pretty good. I think I got all 3 of the screamers. I did. Even more of them to burn. Let's go ahead and continue burning. These guys are armor zombies. So it seems like we didn't... It seems like we didn't get anybody from the infestation. Let's throw another distraction and try to pull them out. They're gonna have to come through that door since I don't think this has any windows. Okay, there we go. Oh, and a feral came out. But of course, running in a straight line is not a good idea. So he dies despite the nighttime. Oh, there's another one. I hear him.
I can't catch my breath.
I really don't want to fight at night. Although we might just be able to beat him up with a blunt attack. Yeah, gain some fighting EXP while we're at it. And for some reason those other zombies didn't hear it. Let's see how Ladislav feels after that. Looks like he's got a few injuries, so we'll want to swap him out at an outpost. Interesting how there were 2 ferals. That means they were 2 separate individual spawns. They weren't a cohesive unit of 3.
Okay, move it along.
That's the screamer.
Glad I'm on your side.
So bringing Ladislav was a good idea. He was able to distract the feral. Look, I don't have any damage. So it was a good idea to bring him along as the aforementioned training wheels. While we're here, let's... Wow, none of these are potential locations for materials, except for that one there. This one is a potential location for food, though, so let's check that out. Okay, we got a bloater. Let's mark the bloater real quick. Make our way over here. Where's the food place? Right here. What is that? Okay, that's an auto shop. Try and get this screamer real quick. Got it. Oh shit, we're being shot by hostiles. So there's hostiles there. Interesting. Fortunately, inadvertently, Ladislav may have saved his life. That could have gone, if I didn't have Ladislav with me, that could have gone a lot worse. As you can see, he took multiple gunshots, which is why, once again, I believe that the AI-controlled characters have some kind of resistance to it. We'll check his damage in a moment. At first I was confused because I'm like, I'm pretty sure I didn't give Ladislav a gun. See his injury level.
The plan is right, it's right.
Yeah, he's hurt pretty bad, so let's get him swapped out. Put him back to BFG guard duty. So our food stockpile is... Okay, that's because this is currently considered offline.
No big deal. I found this kid crying at the park.
Oh, Logan's gonna get a...
I mean, you do the same, right?
Let me guess, he's gonna get a negative trait.
But me? No. I had nightmares for a week after that. The idea of being lost and alone like that. That's my personal hell.
Okay, let's see what negative trait he gained from that. Okay, thank God it was just a neutral thing. Hates to be alone. I don't get along well with myself. Thank God it was just a neutral trait. And it wasn't even a I would have been pretty upset about that.
Hey, if you could lend us a hand with something, we'd really owe you one.
I would have been pretty upset about that.
Yes?
Okay, we need to do something about those hostiles.
Alright, lead the way.
Gotta get my bloater grenades out. Oh, this is the wrong tab for bloater grenades. Okay, we got a lot of them here. Oh yeah, I built a bunch of them. Let's activate this. Protect this. And let's... What else do I want? I want a med kit. Don't have any, so let's make med kit.
Better not have to run carrying all this.
That's annoying. Let's drop that then to lighten our load slightly. I don't want to be in heavy carry. Let's activate this. Oh, that's the wrong item. I might have Seraphina use an actual gun, just because, like, I don't think they're too accurate, in case she does need to shoot at them, but we'll put a silencer on it. Or we can just have her use this gun, which is already silent. Yeah, that's perfect.
What's happening?
After you.
Okay, so we know that they are hostile survivors at this tagged up shop. Apparently we also got a quest. The Grease Monkeys, they want a plague cure, and then we've got a mysterious broadcast. Where's our car? Oh, it's over here. That's a pretty deadly bug to have hostile survivors there and yet not mark them. That is a definitely a danger. It could have gone a lot worse if not for the fact that we conveniently had somebody there to draw the gunfire for us.
Let's keep that screamer quiet.
Get a little closer than I would plan the angle I want to attack from. I think it's one of those stores that has only a front entrance and a back entrance, so I might park on the side of the building. Because that'll force them to either have to come from the front or from behind. Let's take a quick look. Yes, it has a front. Some of them are already outside. Get these guys off. This might be a one that's very... The zombie could be useful here. Because they're already riled up. Let's go back and get some zombie. Mark this location. So it's nighttime, and like there's not a whole lot of buildings for cover, so I think what we're going to do is use the zombie against them. Which kind of makes me want to... Actually, no, I've got an idea. Since our outpost is pretty close, so I think what I'll do is I'll just apply the scent block on Seraphina immediately. And then I'll apply mine closer. And while that'll give her less time...
Postman Pass, this is your final warning to clear out. Operation Drawbridge will create a choke point through the mountains. A mighty wall between us and the Zeds. I hope whatever they're planning works and makes a difference.
After you.
Let's grab one of these.
Yes?
Alright, lead the way.
We'll put one group of our bloater grenades away. And we will get this out. So what I want to do is probably get about right here. Then we'll get out of the car and apply our scent block. To Seraphina, at least. Should be far enough away from them that we don't get shot, but give us a few extra seconds. I mean, it lasts 5 minutes, and the battle shouldn't last 5 minutes, but... Oh, we got a feral on us. Sniper support.
Somebody watch over me. Somebody with a really big gun.
Right away.
To answer one question, I don't think sniper support works on humanoid enemies. Oh my god, just kill the feral, please. Okay, thank you. Finally done the thing I wanted. Guy's getting tired, of course he is. All of the negative effects are just happening simultaneously. I'm not going to... Don't play with fatigue on Nightmare Zone, let me give you that as a tip. Even though it's very annoying to have to constantly go back and forth, let me tell you, do not screw with fatigue on Nightmare Zone. You gain fatigue penalty fast on Nightmare Zone. So we just have to go back and get some espresso.
You're at home. You take care, okay?
Okay, where's my espresso? Here it is. Shot of espresso. Go get our bloater grenades back. Okay, now there should be, unless they generate some kind of zombie that stalls us, we should have no more distractions. Let me tell you, it's worth it to take precautions. Even though I've been playing Nightmare Zone a long time, one of the lessons I've learned to State of Decay is you're most likely to do something stupid when you take the game for granted. Like, once you think you're too good for the game and that, oh, you're untouchable, that's typically when you're gonna make a mistake. Push some of these guys. Okay, let's switch to Serafina.
Right behind you.
Fly.
And I'm out.
Now we'll mark these guys. Get some initial cover by pulling some of the zombies in. Looks like they might have trouble shooting down here. So I'm going to just throw a zombie onto their house. Get back in for safety. Looks like there is no rear entrance, so that actually functions as a choke point. I actually think this is a pretty safe area, a relatively safe area to get at it. Of course, Serafina wants to fight the zombies even though they're not a threat. Despite how noisy the zombies currently are, they're not a threat at the moment. Part of the problem is that these zombies, even though they're wandering towards us, they're not actually a threat. We might be able to just... If those ferals get in there, they might actually be able to do the job for us. Yeah, well, we might not even need to lift a finger. Okay, that's one of them. They got a feral horde or a pair of singles on them, so that's good. As long as the scent block is holding, these zombies, yes, they're attracted to the sound of the car's engine, but they're not. They're not a threat. I believe there were 3 in there, so we're still waiting for more. You know, we'll get influence if one of them go down. There's one of them right there. That one looks like possibly a Red Talon character. I wonder if this was the quest generation for the like that guy there. It looks like he has a uniform on, and he's got a silenced submachine gun, possibly. Yeah, that didn't go too well for him, did it? Okay, I'm now relatively confident that the people that we just dealt with were the what do you call it? The guys who their community gets abducted by like one of those insane Red Talon members. I believe that's what that is. So we're gonna go back to base and swap some of these characters back, which should allow those enemies to clear up. And then we're gonna come back and see what was going on there. And also we want to see if all of the hostiles have been removed. The zombies seem to calm down. Like they weren't in a frenzy looking for a third person, so they either got them. And also we got 50 influence for that guy, which once again further makes me believe that that was the spawn-in for the Red Talon, the crazed Red Talon guy who takes a community over. We still got scent block on, so I really am not concerned with these guys. Let's completely repair this vehicle. Okay, we need... I wish there was an option to build from here, instead of having to go over here and build one. There's a lot of inconveniences in the UI that make you take extra steps, and it's not that big of a deal. It only takes a few more. It only takes like a second or two longer, but it's just annoying.
Hey neighbor, we found a location for our clinic, but the zombie situation is out of control. Can you help us out?
Yeah, let's drop these guys off and change characters.
How about that?
Also, we're gonna need to
Yes?
dismiss you.
Take care.
We're gonna need to get that cure to that group of survivors who asked for it before time runs out. Let's play as, we haven't played as Caleb in a while.
Even more zombies around here? Maybe we should quiet down a bit.
Crossbow. Get the pyro launcher out. One thing I don't like about having... So, like, why don't I collect a lot of weapons? I don't like having to scroll all the way down for the pyro launcher. It starts to get on my nerves. Like, having to go, like...
Be that guy, but I gotta ask how that favor's coming along.
You see how long it takes to get to the bottom? It's just annoying. And on my main save file, where I do collect one of every weapon, it's such a huge pain to get something at the bottom of the list. They could fix that if there was, like, a favorites list, but such a thing doesn't exist. Need this. Use that. And let's also carry some firecrackers and incendiaries just in the event that another infestation generates. So we can just preemptively destroy it. Yeah, we'll use the mono gear axe. I'm okay with that. Looks like we also need medicine.
Okay, I'll be there shortly.
Thanks, man.
Remove this. That was the most dangerous nighttime we've had in a little while, without a doubt. The nighttimes had been pretty manageable, and like I said, the only reason that ambush by those hostile community guys wasn't worse. Oh yeah, even more evidence. The mysterious guy, the mysterious thing is now gone. That's typically a mysterious quest, So that's exactly what that was. A mysterious quest generated that hostile community, but they don't mark it. So that's what it was. I am very certain the fact that we saw a guy who looked like a Red Talon did get close enough to absolutely confirm it, but I'm pretty confident that he was a Red Talon guy, and there was a mysterious quest that had popped up, so I am pretty sure that that's exactly what it was. So the presence of the mysterious quest automatically generates it regardless of whether or not you accept it or not, and they don't mark it, so yeah, those guys could easily just kill you out of nowhere. I definitely think that's a problem. It also showed that the AI-controlled characters, they do have some kind of additional advantage. Like, they have some kind of resistance to damage.
Dear Diary, today is the day we finally got our shit together. Yay!
There you go. See what they have to sell for now.
Hey, what's up? Come on, make yourself at home. For sure.
I'll take fuel.
Later, buddy.
Oh wait, there's a guy on me? No, there's not. Okay, they're dead. Jesters! Get some food real quick. He's inside the vehicle. And they're shooting my car up too, thank you. Wait, where's the drive-thru? So here's the drive-thru. Oh, they don't have a menu that we can see. And here's the cashier. And then you would presumably exit. Yeah, you would just drive out. So this would be the exit. Yeah, they even got the traffic labels there. And that's the way in. The size, the footprint of this building, like how tiny it is, it reminds me a lot of a chain called Checkers.
Well, everything's...
Checkers also has just absolutely tiny building.
Anyone listening? We've got goods to trade.
Okay.
Seeds. Be interesting if we found food inside of a first aid. But you know, who knows?
This place is empty.
Nope, we actually found medicine inside of it. So, we're looking for food and medicine. Jolly Collie Tavern. Let's just run across the street.
Damn, it's locked. I gotta watch the noise.
We got people in here. Got a horde. Start removing the legs off a few of these. Yeah, actually, let's just burn them real quick. And we'll run and hop the fence. More guys joining the party. Get that guy's leg off. Okay, now I can execute them on my own time. What is the lethality on this weapon? Actually, pretty decent. That's why I am getting a lot of one-hit kills on them. Weapon has pretty good lethality. Like, a lot of the kills were in 1 to 3 strikes. Like, that's pretty optimal for a sword. Our inventory's full, so I'm probably not going to take anything except rucksacks now. This is one of the reasons why they ask questions like, why don't I loot? It's because I hate managing my inventory late in the game. Early in the game, it doesn't bother me as much because obviously we need resources, but late in the game, I just don't want to deal with my inventory. It starts to get tedious. Go back in and double check just to make sure. Might get a double rucksack. Can't see a thing.
All clear.
Know where that last one is, and I'm also not going to bother looking for it. I know it bothers people when I don't look for everything, but I care more about swift timing than I care about being thorough and stripping every single little thing out of the game down to the brass tacks. Okay, so he doesn't hear us.
Looks quiet.
Good. Got 2 rucks so far. Definitely gonna need more than 2, though. Gonna need more like 5 or so. I'll obviously take everything that stacks. So, I guess one of the things we'll talk about is... One of the things I think that State of Decay needs is, it does need to be harder. And not more zombies and not more damage. Like, that's... we don't need the larger quantities of zombies and we don't need more damage. The Nightmare Zone is a good start. But even Nightmare Zone is honestly not hard enough. Like, I consider Nightmare Zone to be kind of the standard difficulty of the game for myself now. Like, I don't find it to be... I'm not saying it's easy. It's not. It is a hard mode. But, I mean, we haven't had a game over. We haven't even been close to a game over. I think a really challenging game should have threatened me a game over by now. Carton Mart, there's something we can loot.
Is anybody out there? I could use some help.
What are our quests looking like? Survivor in need. Do him first. So what the game needs now is... So everything that Undead Labs is adding, with the exception of the Blood Plague, the Advanced Blood Plague in Heartland, which does not influence the core game, I might add. None of it is stuff that makes the game harder in a new way.
Come here, will you?
Yes, the Nightmare Zone increased damage, increased, zombie density, etc. But they haven't done anything. They haven't added any new threats. They haven't added any new mechanics to the primary game that makes it harder, and I think that's a really big problem. I hear a feral? No, I didn't. What do you want? Good. Find your daughter, sure. Where is your daughter's last location? Over here. So what could they add? I think they could add disease back into the game. And most people say, oh, but Blood Plague is disease. No, Blood Plague is the zombie disease, the zombie condition. I'm talking about just infection in general. I'm talking about, like, bacterial infection due to taking severe injury. I'm talking about just regular, everyday diseases that you could get. Because that was an issue in the previous game. The previous game, there was this thing called the Black Death. But in addition to that, you also had, like I said, just infection from injury, infection from inhaling bloater gas. And I think the two of those could coexist together. Like, I don't see why not. I mean, there are multiple types of diseases in real life, and obviously they don't need to make one disease for every single little thing that happens. But just having 2 categories, I think that would be a good addition from the original game.
A little something as a thank you gift.
It would also make medicine more important.
And let that one go.
Because one of the problems right now is that medicine is... You don't really need it that much. In fact, I use it to make money for the most part.
Hello.
Later.
Okay, I guess we haven't cleared all the zombies out. I don't see any more zombies. Maybe there's one on the exterior. Don't tell me this one's bugged as well. Yeah, I don't see any zombies anywhere. This one might be bugged.
How's it going?
Got anything useful you're looking to unload?
Sure, why not?
Later.
Oh my gosh, this is so stupid. Oh wait, maybe you'll count. Oh, thank God.
Dead for sure.
I didn't know it was possible to feel this bad and still be alive.
Nope, we can't get there in a minute.
God damn it!
Oh my, she just died like instantaneously.
Way worse. That's gotta count for something.
God.
Rest and pepperonis.
Sometimes it's just too much to bear.
Yeah, I'm gonna check her wallet while you mourn over it.
Yeah, for sure.
Be seeing ya.
Had a bunch of garbage. Okay, that's the end of that quest. I guess we'll check this wandering trader. Maybe she'll be a medicine trader or a... Because we could call in more, but what's our influence looking like? I'd like to get over 5,000. 5,000 is kind of like my safe number. That's why we've been kind of scavenging a little more manually, which, as you can see, is super inefficient compared to just calling people in. That's what the game needs. The game needs more hostile mechanics. Like, they keep giving us mechanics to deal with the outbreak, and that would be good if the outbreak was, like, really overwhelming, but the outbreak is not really overwhelming. So what we need is to kind of bring things more into balance. Like, there's too many advantages in the game, and there's not enough problems. Like, weapons are tools, and tools are designed to solve problems, and right now there's not enough problems within the game. And that's also why, you know, I'm not crazy about these weapon packs, because these weapon packs aren't solving problems. What we probably need is some kind of like a boss enemy. A boss enemy that appears periodically, maybe every like 15 days or so that when you get rid of it, it stays gone for a while. And it, you know, when you kill it, it actually drops some like fantastic items that you can't get any other way. And I don't mean like a Juggernaut. Juggernaut is not a boss enemy, it's just a bigger enemy. Sniper support. On.
Somebody watch over me. Somebody with a really big gun.
I've got it.
Okay. This is one of the examples right there. Sniper support. This very easy solution to dealing with these things. Oh, it's a medicine trader. Excellent. I know I just said I want to save influence, but if they're going to give me a medicine trader, I'm taking a medicine trader.
I'm looking to do some trading.
All right.
While we're here, we should probably check right over here at the tagged up store. Let's refuel first, actually. Use that real quick. Overkill on health, but it does. I mean, we have so many of them, it doesn't matter. Like I said, we're at the point of the game where we don't really need to loot very much.
I need to head home. You take care, okay?
Like, I don't know what other kinds of things Undead Labs could add in, but they need to add in, like, I would like to see them add in some kind of building that you enter into that's like, basically functions as a dungeon. Kind of like Dead Island had those, like, built, like, they had like a hotel. Okay, let's cautiously approach this. Break the windows.
Time to get searching.
It looks like it's clear. No sign of the body, so he probably turned into a zombie and wandered off. Looks like the weapon he had was probably the Spec Ops MP5, so not a weapon that we really care about. If he had the gas launcher, that would be a different story. Other thing I think they could do is they could try to build on the idea of, like, the plague walls kind of, like, infesting an entire area. Like, they could create, like, plague zones or something. Some kind of system where you need to use, like... If they add a flamethrower into the game, they should add a system in where, like, the blood plague can start, like, claiming buildings, and it can only be pushed back with fire. So, you know, in a pinch you have to use, like, Molotov and whatnot, but it's this idea that you go into the building, and the building is just, like, it's got, like, crap all over the wall, so you'd want to, like, start just burning that off the wall. You'd want to, like, purge the building, basically, and after you burn it enough, then, you've cleaned out the building, and it stops, like, generating threats. Maybe what the building does is it spreads to other nearby buildings, and then on top of that, zombies that wander nearby become plague zombies, including freaks. So, like, if a feral is nearby, it'll become a plague feral. If a screamer is nearby, it'll become a plague screamer. And then there could be kind of like a heart of the infestation. I don't mean like a plague heart, but like kind of like a core. They could call it like a, basically like the same thing that the plague wall is, but not quite as big. And when you destroy it, oh wait, here's his body right here. Take a look at him real quick. This is definitely a Red Talon soldier. You can even see there's his patch, the Red Talon patch. So we can now say without a doubt that this guy was generated by a mysterious quest that was to kill him. And there it is, the MP5. We don't want any of these.
Where should I put this?
Kind of want the knife. I'll take the knife. Let's head home and dump this stuff off. And so then what they could do is, okay, so what they need to do is they need to add another merchant in. And I think it should be somebody like Cash Beaumont, someone who's kind of permanent. Maybe it's like another Cash Beaumont style character. And they're going to be Echo Lab, so it can be Dr. Hoffman. It doesn't have to be Dr. Hoffman. It could just be a new character they create that's part of Echo Lab. And what he wants is... he wants plague samples and a new item they'll add in the game called a plague core. And a plague core will be something that drops from cleaning these infested buildings. You'll get like one plague core for completely terminating it, and he'll trade you items for the plague cores and for the plague samples, so it'll create this new kind of currency. And you'll also have this kind of idea of like the blood plague is like encroaching onto the map, and it's like it would have to be significant. It would have to be something that if you don't have the equipment to destroy it, then it just isn't affected by your gear. Like, it's not affected by explosives, it's not affected by a lot of the stuff you have. Puts us up to 15. At 15 and 16, definitely have some ways to go. We definitely need more. But in addition to that, they still need to add a new enemy. Like, I don't understand why they haven't added a new enemy into the game. And I'm not talking about enemy variants. If you think of other games that are emphasizing action, what kind of sequel to an action game, or even a part action game, doesn't include new enemies? Like, that just seems like a very obvious thing to do. But, yeah, there were no new enemies, and the Plague Art doesn't really count as a new enemy. It's like an objective more than an enemy.
Dum-dums alive, deadheads included. Look, maybe we both flew off the handle.
So we've got Arv starting problems, which is not surprising since he's irritable, and Logan irritates people, or he gets irritable people upset. That's why we have to kick out everyone who is everyone who's irritable has to be kicked out. I wonder if we can outrun them in terms of them being aware of us. I think so. Distraction. Wait. Magical self-cleaning infestation. Did the job for me. Are there any food stores nearby? There's a medical place. 2 ammo places. Let's loot for guns, too. Because we do need new guns. First, we'll hit the store era, the Army Navy Outfitters. That'll probably be the end of the episode, too. But yeah, I want to emphasize that while Nightmare Zone... I think Nightmare Zone is very close to kind of the baseline difficulty of what I would expect from a survival experience. Because like I said, I don't associate survival with easy. Like, I don't associate survival with either accessibility or easy. I expect it when I buy a survival game, where even if there is a difficulty setting, I expect even the easiest difficulty setting to be challenging.
Hey, things could be way worse.
But Nightmare Zone, I think the damage the enemies deal, that's about what they should deal. I think the quantity of zombies is okay. Obviously, there's some BS things, like just the pop-ins, like that's obviously not a fair mechanic. You've got, like, these enclaves. I think the headshot... I don't think headshots are necessary. I think they should have just increased the damage that guns do to you. I don't think that the headshot mechanic was necessary. But other than that, I think Nightmare Zone is basically okay. This can be sold. We'll take the gun because it scraps pretty well. We can make ammo. I'll take the light bolts, though. Even the triple ferals, like, I think they do suck, but the game needs something like that. The game... Oh, this was a Plague Art location. But, you know, like a survival game, it should have things that suck like that. Shotgun shells. Where's the final... This? Yes. Probably not going to get anything else from it. This will probably be chemicals or parts. Not too bad. Parts are okay. We need them. And the good news is we can just drop this stuff off over here. Really? They locked my outpost?
I hope nothing heard that.
Give you an example, though, if we look at other survival games like Don't Starve, and they're also made by an indie company, and I don't even think Don't Starve has a sponsor like Microsoft, and yes, they do add in, you know, fluff-based things like skins. Oh, that's actually worth a lot. We're going to take that to sell. But they are constantly adding in new enemies, new environments with new enemies in them, environments that have new rules to them. They're constantly changing the simulation of how you interact with it, and also how the simulation interacts with you. That's really the issue there, is they're giving us more ways to interact with the game, but they're not giving many ways for the game to interact back with us.
There's nothing left to salvage.
And as a result, there's just this really big imbalance in content where there's plenty of guns, there's plenty of items, and yet you're stuck with the same old enemies that have been in the game, not just since State of Decay 2, but since State of Decay 1. These are the exact same enemies from State of Decay 1. Indeed, State of Decay 1 had the Screamer, the Feral, the Bloater, and the Juggernaut. That guy probably heard us. And I bet, no, it's not down, actually. No, I overshot.
Somebody watch over me. Somebody with a really big gun.
You want it? You got it.
The Feral gun. Did he give up? Not that I'm complaining, but... I'm warming up to Mono Gear X. I originally didn't think it was that good of a sword, or a bladed weapon, but yeah, I've warmed up to it. Too bad that military outpost is looted. Checkpoint is still good though. So far, there hasn't been anything too good in it though. Oh wow, there wasn't anything in it. What a letdown. Another broken trekker there. That means we can probably toss out the meat wagon. Oh, that's what the guy was going to answer. So we had a comment that basically was saying that he felt that the flamethrower is a ridiculous request, and that's something I just don't understand, why the flamethrower is a ridiculous request, considering that a flamethrower is something that would be very logically found at a military outpost during a zombie apocalypse, because even if flamethrowers wound up being ineffective against zombies, they would be used to burn the bodies, to cleanse the bodies. It's just something that you would expect to see. And I mean, like, how are you going to say that a flamethrower is ridiculous when we've got this, basically a Nerf gun that shoots out incendiary fireworks, and you're going to tell me that you think that a flamethrower is ridiculous? If we look over here, where is it? The meat wagon. Look at this vehicle. This is a vehicle that's a van that's full of meat, and it poops meat out. It basically just drops meat out the back as a lure. The Burninator is a truck that has flamethrowers on the side of the vehicle. So you already have a type of flamethrower in the game that's in a vehicle form, and you're telling me that a regular military flamethrower is ridiculous? There's even non-military flamethrowers. Any of them, I think, would be perfectly realistic. And then you've got the Pyrohawk, a vehicle that is strapped up with pyrotechnics. And in the weapons delivery pack, I mean, we have one. Let me go pull out a weapon. We have it. I saved it. Where is it? We've got the Starshank launcher. We've got... Let me build a range of fire. Rains of fire. So here we go. So somehow flamethrowers despite there being military checkpoints, and this is also some ways after the apocalypse, so the military had some time to change their armory to include flamethrowers. So you're telling me that this weapon here, this is somehow less ridiculous than a flamethrower. Somehow a flamethrower is ridiculous, but that is not. I mean, look at this. I just shot a firework onto this guy. So somehow this weapon is somehow, that's normal. Now, he didn't say this. I am partially putting words in his mouth. He didn't say that the Independence DLC was normal. But what I'm saying is, we already have weapons like this in the game, and I would consider these over the top. They're like Dead Rising weapons. When I saw these weapons, I thought of Dead Rising.
Completely out of ammo.
Did I literally thread the needle between those guys? Yeah, I did. I thought of Dead Rising. I didn't think of this being a weapon in State of Decay at all. But somehow, at the same time, we've got these ridiculous weapons in the game. But a flamethrower, that would be too much. That would be ridiculous. Even though a flamethrower is something that I would expect to see in a zombie apocalypse. Like when you've got, like over here, military roadblock, you've got a military checkpoint here. There are military outposts. Where is it? Right here. Abandoned post. This is a military outpost. You're telling me that it would be ridiculous to find a flamethrower in months after the outbreak of a zombie apocalypse, when the military has time to adapt their strategies? And yet somehow that's ridiculous. Like, I don't understand that line of thinking. Like, to me, to be completely honest, I think it's just shilling for Undead Labs. I think it's just fanboyism for Undead Labs. Like, I don't see any logic as to why a flamethrower, and like I said, it doesn't even have to be a military type flamethrower. Like, there are commercial flamethrowers, industrial flame, I don't know about commercial flamethrowers, but they're industrial flamethrowers. They exist. So I don't understand that line of thinking of how it could be ridiculous. And let's say it was ridiculous. It's something that the fans want, and you have already made weapons that are similar to it. You've already made the pyro launcher. So I don't understand. Anyways, that's what I think. So this episode, we did a little bit of stuff, mainly questing. We got ambushed by those random guys. Like, that's probably going to be the name of the episode. But we did manage to deal with them. We did confirm that that was a Red Talon agent, meaning that they were spawned as a direct result of the Mysterious Quest appearing. So perhaps you should not ignore Mysterious Quest just on the off chance that they are the Red Talon maniac. So that might be an advisable thing to do. That's what I'm going to do from now on. I'm not going to ignore Mysterious Quest. Even if you don't want to do the quest, just reject the quest. But I'm going to make sure that I at least investigate them from now on, because it was very fortunate that Ladislaw was there to take the damage for Logan. At any rate, that's the end of this episode. Thanks for watching. Like this video if it was entertaining. Subscribe for future State of Decay 2 content. Of course, remember that you don't have to be good to get good.